So I'm sure you guys have heard over the past week or so, there's been a lot of talk with Daisy Ridley and John Boyega talking about the sequel trilogy and how they were not pleased about not only their backstory, but how their character was handled. And also, not only going to be covering what they have mentioned, I'm also going to be talking about what has happened to them since then and whose fault is it to blame. So without further ado, let's get started. So starting off with Daisy Ridley, she was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. She was interviewed by the actor who played Olaf in the Frozen movies, and basically the conversation went to Ray and the talk about was there any potential, was it just Palpatine that was planned all along for her to be her related to? And this is what Daisy has to say. No, at the beginning they were toying with a Obi-Wan connection, and then it went to there were different versions, and then it went to she's a no one. And then it came to episode 9 and JJ pitched me the film, and oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy. And I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he's like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. So even while we were filming, I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be. Now, that is 100% a red flag, but I'll get to John Boyega and what he has to say, and we'll cover that towards the end. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with what John Boyega said the first time, and then we'll go on to what he ended up saying after this. So, this is where he has to say. It's so difficult to maneuver. You get yourself involved in these projects, and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is do not bring a black character or market them to be more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. And here's the second one. Like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You guys knew what to do with Adam Driver. You knew what to do with these other characters. But when it came to Kelly Matran, when it came to John Boyega, you knew F all. So, what do you want me to say? They want you to say, I enjoyed being a part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the notice to Adam Driver, all the notice to Daisy Ridley. But let's be honest, Daisy knows this, Adam knows this, everybody knows this. I'm not exposing anything. So what mainly John Boyega is talking about is basically, obviously, his character Finn throughout the sequel trilogy and how his character was handled. Now, if you guys remember from The Force Awakens, everybody thought that he was going to be the main character because he had the lightsaber. He seemed to be more of an important character, and he was the first character that we saw in the trailer in the Stormtrooper outfit. And if you think about it, imagine this. A black character which the last time we had a black Star Wars character was Mace Windu. Years later, like 10 years later, John Boyega gets a chance to play a stormtrooper, stormtrooper who defects from the First Order, trying to figure out where is he going to go from here to going back to save someone he loves, and then becoming a potential Jedi, potentially Force sensitive. And that's what the TFA trailer kind of showed off, and that's what a good majority of the time that The Force Awakens showed, until Rey ended up using the Force, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's the main character, and it's not John Boyega. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that, and honestly, I really feel bad for John. I feel like he's, JJ or someone went up to him and be like, dude, you're going to be the main character because you're going to have a lightsaber. Nah, that's not what happened. Because even Ryan, he kind of hinted at him being force sensitive with him yelling out Ray when he's asleep. So it's either that his mind's still thinking on it about her, or like she knows that she's not there, so he yells out Ray. That's a possibility, but they never really explained his for sensitivity. And then JJ went back to it in 9, and all he has to say a feeling, and they just pushed it off to the side as a funny joke. And honestly, that's 100% disappointing. And I honestly am full right with John Boyega. Now with Daisy Ridley, honestly, it would have been really cool if her character ended up being a Rey Kenobi and everything, because you would have had so many Star Wars fans being like, okay, how did Obi-Wan and Satine, like, how did that all work out and everything? And then honestly, it would have been a pretty interesting backstory. Or she could have been related to the Kenobi bloodline through being like maybe Kenobi's niece or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. Honestly, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, Ace, you're so stupid and everything. But honestly, I think she was just better off being a no one, because obviously the Force saw something in her, made her really special, and pretty much made her the most powerful Force-being being in the galaxy besides Anakin, which honestly she might be more powerful because she didn't have any training at all. And obviously if you tell me that she had training in Episode 9, nah, that wasn't real training. Basically that was just cardio, okay? So just shut up, alright? So obviously from the two main actors, honestly, we're kind of waiting for something from Adam Driver to say something about this as well. But completely honest, The Force Awakens was a waste of time. There was no planning whatsoever, because JJ didn't even know who Rey's heritage was, who she was related to. And honestly, that is 100% terrible writing and directing. 100% terrible. JJ is an amazing director, but a terrible writer, because he's a terrible storyteller. He's a great director. Ryan is a phenomenal director, terrible storyteller. So honestly, Disney screwed us from the beginning ever since 2015. Now, The Force Awakens is the best one out of the 3. But terms of visual effects, it's obviously 8. But there was no story. There was no hint to Palpatine returning besides Snoke, who was basically a CGI'd 8-foot character who was like 3 feet taller than Ian McDiarmid's Palpatine. But there was no planning at all. There was nothing, and this just makes me frustrated, to be completely honest, because I was really looking forward to see these movies, to now knowing up to 2019, The Rise of Skywalker. No planning at all. This is terrible. And honestly, I'm going to say that right now, Disney or Kathleen Kennedy need to go out and state that there was no plan. I don't care if you don't think that they'll do it, they have to. They need to take responsibility of what they did, because they have pretty much ruined the franchise, in my opinion, besides The Mandalorian, bringing back the Clone Wars, and maybe Rebels. But that is it. They've ruined the films. Oh no, these 3 films. They've ruined the ending of the Skywalker saga. I really feel George Lucas should have came back and at least co-directed his story on his 3 films, honestly, and had maybe JJ or Ryan be like, hey, we'll be the main directors, you can be the co-director and oversee the project. Nah, none of that happened, and I really wish that should have. So with that being said, guys, that is pretty much it. I kind of just want to cover over what Daisy Ridley and John Boyega said about there basically being no planning whatsoever, and things constantly changing. And real quick, Daisy Ridley has auditioned for 30 different roles and has gotten nothing. And this is after The Rise of Skywalker. Like, literally after The Rise of Skywalker aired. She's auditioned for 30 different roles, didn't get a single one. And John Boyega has not gotten a single role at all either. So that's kind of telling you something when basically you go out and talk crap about Disney. But honestly, this is facts, okay? Honestly, I really hope that Daisy Ridley and John Boyega get future roles, but we'll have to see later on. So that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Ring the notification bell to stay up to date to the channel when a new video comes out. And leave a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Go follow me on Instagram, guys, to get early snippets of content, mocks, tutorials, and make sure to go join my Discord server, which I will actually be doing a video on that pretty soon. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.